Hello everyone, in this video we're going to build a small RESTful API service to demonstrate the image generation feature of Google Gemini. It's a simple service that can help us generate images based on the prompt we send and store these images for later use. In the end of this video, we also test sending an image and updating its background based on the prompt as well. Here are two functions that we're going to support in this service. The first one is generating images. We can generate more than one image based on the prompt. And the second one is getting image by ID in a web player. We can download it or just simply show it in the UI. So for web player, you can use any Java framework that you like. It doesn't need to be Spring or Spring Boot. But here, I'm using Spring Boot since it's the one I'm most familiar with. For service layer, let's take a quick look at the diagram. We're gonna have two services, the image generation service and the image storage service. The image generation service simply calls Google Gemini model to generate new images. Then it delegates to image storage service to store these images in storage layer, like a local disk, Amazon S3 or Google Cloud Storage. URL and path returned from the storage will be saved in database for later queries, like ID, my type, URL, etc. So whenever you want to download an image, just simply query a database by ID, then get the URL from image info and download the image from the storage by this URL. Sound reasonable, right? Alright, in this demo, our purpose is on the generating part. So we'll simplify this diagram a little bit by skipping the database part here and use the Unix image name instead. We'll see in a minute. Okay, let's go ahead and generate our service. Start.string.io. Feel free to choose whatever you want. It doesn't matter. But we need Spring Web for RESTful API web layer. I'll name it ImageGenerationService. Then download it, unzip and open it in your favorite IDE. Here I'm using my IntelliJ, and this is our build Gradle with only Spring Boot starter web. Alright, let's move on and create our controller. Image controller. Here we're providing three APIs and depending on two services that we brought up in the diagram some minutes ago. Generate images, get image and download image APIs, image generation service and image storage service. For generating images, we'll use image generation service, and for getting image, we'll use image storage service. Since we're using multi-part file for uploading images, let's configure the corresponding properties. So Spring Sublet multi-part must file side and Spring Sublet multi-part must request side. These will allow uploading files under 20 MB. Back to our controller. Here's we hardcode the PNG my type, but you should get the correct my type of the image in the database. Since we're not gonna have database parts in this demo, so that's why I hardcoded it. Okay, let's create our simple storage image. Image storage service. In this service, we're gonna have two methods. The first one is stored and the second one is get. Here we're gonna store our images in our local disk in the image storage folder. Okay, then let's create that folder. And we're gonna use Java 9 NIO for writing and reading the files. Now let's go ahead and create image generation service. Okay, so it's a service, and in this service we're going to support the method generate images with two parameters, prompt and images. In order to generate images, we need to create a Google AI client, and we will use Google Gen AI SDK to create this. Here's Google Gen AI Java SDK, and we're gonna use this Maven dependency. Build Gradle. Since there are conflict between common loggings in StringWeb and Google Gen AI, so I excluded common logging in Google Gen AI here. As you can see, I exclude this from this Maven dependency. Okay, let's reload Gradle. Then create a bin of Google AI client. So we're going to create Gen AI configuration class. It's a configuration class. And then just create a new bin of client. Public client from com.google.genai. And let's say Gen AI client. Then we're going to provide an API keys. We're gonna get this Gemini API key from our properties file, gemini.api.key. Okay. And then let's return client from com.google.genai, right? Builder, API key, and build. Okay, then let's update our configuration. Okay, let's keep it as empty as present. We'll update it later. Now let's inject our client and image storage service to image generation service. So here we're gonna have private file node. Okay, bin. Okay, now let's build our request. So here we create a list of part. This part is from Google Gen AI types, and we convert our prompt to part, our images to part, and put all of them to our array list part here. And then we put all of them into the content of the request. Next, we like to configure the response modality as well with text and images. Then we can use our Google Gen AI client to generate our images. This Gen AI client models generate content. The first argument is model. Here we have to choose Gemini 2.0 Plus because it supports output images. Let's go to Gemini models. Gemini 2.0 Plus. It supports output images, and especially the model is here. Gemini 2.0 Plus experiment image generation. Let's copy this one. And then the content and the config that we just created before, content and config. Now let's extract the model here. Okay, image generation model, right? Then paste it here. Try catch. Okay, for exception at the moment, just bring it out and ignore it. With that, we have our generated images in place in this response variable here. Response. Now we need to extract images from this response. Since the response structure is quite complicated, so I created a private method to extract image bytes and image my type format. I'll put the GitHub link in the description. Feel free to take a look at this getImage method if you want to get a deep understanding on it. Okay, then let's use this one to respond. Generated images. Then let's start in the image storage service and then return the unique name at the end of this method. So now our service is kinda ready to use. But last but not least, we need an API key, right? So let's create a new one. Okay. Here we are at aistudio.google.com, and then we go get an API key. So here we're going to create a new API key. For example, you can see that I already have one API key, right? So it's a free tiered. Let's delete this one and try to create another one. Okay. In order to create another one, you need a Google Cloud project. So let's go to console.cloud.google.com. registered your account here, and then you can create a new project. Okay, so I'm going to choose my projects and create an API key. Okay, copy it and paste it here. Let's reload this page. So you see free means it's free tiered. And what we can do with free tiered. So back to studio, and we can see here with free tiered, we have 10 requests per minute and 1500 requests per day for free tiered. Look at the model here as well. You can see the rate limit for free tiered. So free tier 10 requests per minute, right? Okay, now everything being set. Let's try to run our service. Okay, cool. Okay, first of all, so this is our image generation API, right? The first one we only send prompt, right? In our controller, image controller. So API v1 images, generate image. So this one only send the prompt to generate image without any images at the moment. Okay. Hi, can you create two 3D render images of a peach with wings and a top hat flying over a happy futuristic sci-fi city with lots of greenery, and then send. Okay, it took around 9 seconds. And then we're going to have two images generated for us, right? Then we can take a look at our local image storage. Here we have one image and two images. Okay, it's cool, right? Then we can get it. So this one, let's try to copy the unique name. So we are going to use the UUID for names to make it unique. And then let's paste it here. I'll get image sent. Here we have our first image, right? Similar to the second image. Cool. Then let's try to download this one. Go to our browser. We have a download API, right? So let's download. And then, okay, it's download successful. Okay, then let's update our image here. Here, now we going to use the generate API as same as the first one, but now we provide our images. Okay, so here the image that we just downloaded, I will send it together with the prompt, change the background of this image to a stunning sky castle with a flying dragon circling around the peak. Okay, then I'll send it. Okay, now it took around 11 seconds and we have this image. Let's try to see here. Okay, we have a dragon. It's kind of cool, right? We can also check it in our storage here, this one. Alright, well, that's pretty much just for this video. I hope you get a chance to try it out soon. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button and subscribe. That helps you get more similar videos in your feed and helps me reach more developers like you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. See you next time. Happy coding!